Hey everybody, it's Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called Scythe. Scythe is a game designed by Jamie Stegmaier from Stonemaier Games. Plays 1 to 5 players, ages 14 plus, 115 minutes. Again, time is, can vary. And effectively what you're doing in this is you are taking on the role of a different faction. I would grab the rule book, but I put it at the bottom of my big box of stuff. So I'm not going to try to attempt to read a theme, but effectively what you're doing is you're taking on the role of a faction, and you are trying to farm to earn resources, fight, get mechs out on the board, upgrade your player board, visit a factory, and just overall control territories. And it's a race to be the first player to put out 6 stars, which are 6 accomplishments that are across the board without triggering the end of the game. Whoever has the most points after all of that is said and done is the winner. That's enough talking about it. Let's go on the table. Check it out.
Come on, play the game.
Alright, so here's a game of Scythe, all set up for 2 players. To set up, you're going to put this big monster board out in the middle here. You're going to put all of these encounter tokens that look like this on the appropriate spaces. You're going to shuffle up the goal cards, bonus cards, and objective encounter cards. Get a number of factory cards over there, which are those purple ones. Number of players plus 1, so in this case 3. Shuffle the combat cards. Put all of the goods off to the side. And get the combat wheels over here so you're ready to go. And you're also going to put one of these structure bonuses right here. All right, now, for each player, you're going to give them a random board and a random faction, and they're going to have bits to go along with that. They're just going to have 4 minis, so mechs, character, and then wooden bits of their color. 6 stars will go up here. The mechs go on the mech spaces. The character goes on the appropriate starting space, which matches that, which I've done for that. And then each player is going to have some random beginning starting stuff. So they're going to have 1 power for them and 4 combat cards. They're going to have what's on their board. And they're going to have 2 popularity, 4 money, and 2 bonus cards. All right. And then you're going to put one of your workers, which are the wooden workers here, on adjacent hexes that are next to your home territory. All right, now we're ready to play. The way this game works is, on your turn, you're going to take your pawn and you're going to go to a location on your board. And you're going to do the top and the bottom, or the top, or the bottom, or nothing. Okay? So when I go to, I'm going to go, let's say, what do I want to do? I want to produce some goods. I'm going to go here. To produce, I have to pay the cost here. So as I get more workers out on the board, it's going to get more expensive. But right now, there's nothing. Then I'm going to be able to produce on 2 hexes. Every hex has a production type. So this one's oil. This one's steel or metal, iron, whatever. And you're going to produce for every worker you have on that hex. So right now I have 1 worker each. So I will put 1 on the hex and 1 on the hex. The resources stay on the board. They do not go to your own personal supply because people can steal these from you. Then I'm going to come down here and I can pay 3 steel to deploy a mech and get 2 coins. I don't have any of that steel, so I'm done. Now on my next turn, I'd have to go to somewhere else and take a turn. You can't take the same turn twice in a row. Okay? So now it's Red's turn, and I think what they want to do is, where are they? What are they producing? Now let's do that. They're going to produce as well. And of course produces all the way over there for them. So I'll go right there. And they're going to produce. They don't have any other workers out, so it's just going to give them goods on their hexes. So they'll do 1 here. And they're going to produce another worker in the village here. So they take a worker from the far left here and put it right there. Then they don't have 3, what is that, oil? I can't see what it is. It looks like oil. Yeah, no. Food. They don't have food, so they can't do the action under there. So that's it. All right, then back to me. I'm going to try to show you all the actions so you can kind of see what's going on. I'm going to trade. I go here. I pay 1 coin. And I can put any 2 resources that I want on a space. as long as I have control of it. And control, you can control a space with a building that you have down there that doesn't have any other people, like characters from another color on it. Or your character's there, a mech is there, or one of your workers is there, you control it, okay? So as long as something's like that, I can put stuff down. All right, so let's do, I'm gonna do 2 of these right here. All right, so I traded. I could either get 2 goods or popularity. I don't care about popularity right now. And if I pay 4 food, I can do an enlist. I'm not there yet, so I can't do that. All right, then what do they want to do next? They want to, they're going to bolster. So let's go over here. They're going to pay a coin, and they can bolster. When you bolster, you have a couple options. You can get power or combat cards. They're going to take 2 power, and that moves them up right there, just like that. All right. They can't do the bottom because they don't have any. They don't have 4 of that resource. All right, now let's see. And they also have a special ability up here at the top. I'm not going to focus too much on there, but mine is I can get unlimited stars for bonus cards and combat. That's kind of what I have there. So let's see here. Back to me. I think I'm going to move. I'm going to move. Where's move? Here, right here. So I can move 2 spaces or get a coin. And I'm going to move 1. Nope. I'll do 1 and 1. Yeah. All right, done. I moved. I don't have 3 wood, so I can't do that. So I'm done. This player's going to come over here, and they're going to move. So they want to do 1, and they'll move this guy over here for 2. All right, now these are encounters. They can only be done with your character, so that's why when this guy went there, nothing happened. All right, and they can't do anything at the bottom because they don't have 2 oil, so they're done. All right, then back to me. I'm going to come here. I'm going to produce. So I'm going to produce 2 steel. I have 2 people in that hex, and I don't have anywhere else that I can produce. So I produced just there, and now I can spend 3 steel or iron, which I'm going to do, and I'm going to deploy a mech. I'm going to do this one, which gives me river walk. It will come into this section because these people build mechs. Gives me the river walk ability, so I can walk across rivers to mountains and or mountains which are iron and forest. So I can now start going over here and start moving around. And then I get 2 coins because I built. So I take 2 coins. All right, so that's getting a mech out. Now, the whole point of this game is, before we get to Red's turn, is you're trying to be the first player, well, you're not trying to be, but the first player to get 6 stars out on the board wins the game. And the star track is up here. I don't know how well you can see it, but I'll explain it. So the first person to get 6 upgrades, which means I haven't taken that action, but you're going to be moving these cubes to make these top actions better, to make the bottom action cheaper. So that's upgrade. You get all 4 of your mechs out on the board. You can get a star. You build all 4 of these wooden buildings. So the mine, the windmill, I put the wrong things in the wrong spot. The monument, the mine, the windmill, and the armory. And then, did I do the same thing over there? Yeah, I did the same thing over here too. Good job. So get those out. If you're the first player to get these enlisted characters out up here, you're going to get a bonus when you do that for 1. So you want to get those out. Then they're going to give you abilities when everybody else takes that action, and you take that action. You can get a star. First player to get all their workers out on the board gets a star. Complete 1 of these cards, you can get a star. Win 2 combat and get a star. 18 up here on popularity. 16 over there on power, get stars. So you're trying to do that. All right, so it's Red's turn. Let's see. Let's see here. What do they want to do? They need to produce. So let's do production. So they'll come over here. They're going to produce. They get to produce 2 hexes. So they could produce a worker, oil, and that, and they're going to produce oil for sure. And they'll produce another worker. And they don't have to pay anything because there's no fee there. But now they're going to have to start paying power. All right, done. They don't have enough goods to do that, so they're done. Back to me. I want to move. So I'm going to go across the water here, because I'm allowed to move to forest across water with my mech and my character. They get the abilities of that too. But I'm going to come over here because I want to show you an encounter. Only this character can do an encounter. When you go to encounter, your movement stops immediately. And you'll do that. And I can't do anything down here because I don't have enough wood, so we'll just get rid of that. To do an encounter, you're going to take one of these cards. You're going to show everybody the picture, and you're going to read the text out loud. So here's what's going on. So I can steer the disoriented mech through the fog with my lantern. I gain 2 oil and 1 popularity. That's pretty nice. Pay the stranded man for his mech. Pay $4 to deploy 1 mech. Not bad. Or shout nonsense until the mech comes close enough for you to rob it. Pay 2 popularity to gain $2 and 2 resources. I actually think I'm going to do the steer the disoriented mech through the fog. So I gain 2 oil and 1 popularity. So 2 oil. And it goes right here. Then this card goes back down to the bottom here. And that's the end of my turn because I don't have enough wood. I don't have any wood to do anything else. All right, back to red. Red now has not a lot of resources, but I think I'm going to move. So let's move. We're going to come over here. They're going to move this one here. And they're going to move this one over to here. Yes, over there. All right, now, same thing. They're going to do an encounter. They don't have enough oil to do any of that, so they won't do that. They're going to do an encounter. So theirs is this cool picture, some cows and some mechs. Share some good news from home with the travelers. Gain $2 and 1 popularity. Trade a cow and eat steak for dinner. Pay 2 and gain 4 food. Or convince the soldiers that the patterns on the cow contain coded maps from the enemy. Pay 2 popularity and gain 2 combat cards and 3 power. I think I want to pay $2 and gain 4 food. So that is trade a cow and eat some steak. So $2 for 4 food. And that's good for them because I want to show you some other actions. So their 4 food goes right there. All right, and that's their turn. Back to black. I have a lot of oil now. So let's come here. I'm going to take 2 power. I want to pay 3 oil. And I'm going to upgrade. And that's going to upgrade one of these actions. And I think I'm going to upgrade my movement. So this comes down and makes something cheaper. And I want to upgrade, make enlisting cheaper. So that's now going to cost me 3 food instead of 4. All right. So that was my turn. I bolstered. I did that. Now back to red. And red, I want to show you enlisting. So let's go enlist. So we will go over here to enlist. And they're going to do production. So they have to pay power. There's a power cost right there. And they're going to produce. So they'll get a worker. They'll get, and 2 hexes are going to produce, and I think they're going to take another oil. And then they're going to pay 3 food, and they're going to enlist. So they pay 3 food. Oh, and when I upgraded, I got 3 coins as well. I forgot. So they're paid 3 food. They're going to enlist. That means they can take one of these things off down here, and whenever they take the action or I take the action, they're going to get a bonus. And I think they want to do that one. So they're going to take that off, put it up here and gain a 1-time bonus, and they're going to take some popularity. All right. And they get 2 coins for that. And that was that. All right, now let's see if I can show you some building because I want to show you that before we end this. So let's do trading. I'm going to trade. I'm going to pay a coin. I'll get some wood, 2 wood right here. Put it right there. And then if I have 3 food, I don't have 3 food, so I'm done. And that was trade. What do they have there? Enlisting from trade. So they're going to get a popularity because I did trade. All right, so that's their turn. And let's come over here. They're going to do bolster. 1, 2. And they don't have enough steel, so they're done. Back to me. I want to... Let's see. Let's come here. No, I was already there. Let's go here. I'm going to produce. So we'll produce. No, I need to move first. So let's move. So I can move 3. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and this guy over here? 3. All right, so now I moved. I need 1 more wood, so I am done. All right, back to this player. They're just going to move, and they're going to go. They can't move that far really, so they'll put 1 there and another 1 there. All right, 2 done. They don't have enough oil. They do have enough oil, so they have some oil. 2 oil, so they're going to upgrade. And they're going to get a coin for upgrading, and they're going to upgrade their movement as well, and they want to make deploying mechs cheaper. All right, back to me. So now I'm going to come here. I'm going to trade again for a coin. Again, probably not the smartest way to play this. I just want to show you how some stuff works. I'm going to get two goods, so I will do 1 of these and 1 oil. Right there, done. And then I'm doing trade, so they get a heart, popularity, and I have 3 food, so I can't do that. Done. They're going to come over here, do some bolstering, and they don't have enough there, so they're done. Now, coming back to me, I am going to build. So the first thing I got to do is I got to move. So I'm going to move this guy here for 1. I'm going to move this one back down here. Can I move into that? Back down here for 1. And I'm going to move this guy right here for 1. Okay, so that I have 3 movements. Now I'm going to do this encounter before I do my bottom part. So I'll do the encounter. So it's this picture. And I'm going to tamper with the draft documents, gain $2 and a popularity, deliver conscription papers and payment, pay $3 and enlist a recruit, or pay 2 popularity and gain a worker and 3 food. I'm going to do that. So pay 2 popularity, I'll gain a worker and 3 food. So a worker and 3 food. All right, so I did that. Now, did I put that on the bottom? Yes, okay. Now I get a build. So I have 3 wood. I'm going to build. I can build any of these buildings that I want in an area where I have control. So I have control here, here, and here. So I think I want to put the armory, and we're going to score for being next to mines. So I'm going to build this armory here, which is going to go right there next to that mine. So that gives me 2 points at the end of the game. And I got my coin, and that's that. Now I'm 1/4 of the way to getting stuff out on the board. So that's basically how the game is going to play. Eventually there's going to be combat. If this player would end up with this player, we would do some combat. You can wager your bolstering on this, your power on this wheel, and you can play some of these cards based on how many workers you have or characters you have in here. Whoever has the most wins. They go down 1 of these for every 1 of these workers they have to boot out, and you both lose power. If the loser bids at least 1 power, they get a combat card, and the loser has to retreat to their base. And whoever wins gets control of the territory and all the goods that are in it. And you get to put a star. So that's kind of how the game works. Again, it takes a long time to get started, a long time to get some stuff out, but I just kind of wanted to show you how the game plays so you can see what it's all about. So that is Scythe. Let's go up to top, see what you think about it.
What do you think, son? What do you think?
All right, well, that was Scythe. So first off, before I go any further, I didn't show everything there is in this game. I didn't want it to be 30-40 minutes long. So I wanted to show you kind of how the game plays, the basic actions on your player board, and all of that, which is what I tried to get through the video. So there is some stuff I didn't show you. I probably got some rules wrong, but I just wanted to show you how the game works in case you haven't heard of it and you wanted to check it out. So let's talk about components. So this game has fantastic components. I'm not a minis guy, but these player minis are incredible. Every color, every faction has their own mini. This one's cool, except I hurt myself on the pointy hat. Poke my thumb. So that's that, and they each have their own mechs that are different colors, so are different shapes. So there's yellow. This blue one kind of looks like a spider, a boat, which is cool. The white one looks the most intimidating, I think. Looks like that. That's cool. So the components, the plastic components are cool. The different buildings are great. Well, sort of. I mean, the armory is like a cylinder. But the monument looks like a little pyramid type thing. The windmill kind of symbolizes the windmill in viticulture. Maybe a little different. This Military shield. It looks like a bug, but it's supposed to be like a shield of power. And all the workers for each colors are different shapes too as well, which is cool. So really great components. I don't even have the deluxe stuff. I just have cardboard coins, and I still think they're great. The board has the side I showed you, and then the other side, you can extend the map, so all the hexes are bigger. Instead of being like this, they're like this. So there's more room to store stuff and all that kind of thing. Fantastic. Rulebook is great. Gives some history of what's going on, like the theme of the game. Hey, I actually got the rulebook, so let me read that for you right now. The ashes from the first Great Wall still darken the snow in 1920s Europa. The capitalistic city-state known as simply as the Factory, which fueled the war with heavily armored mechs, has closed its door, drawing the attention of several nearby countries. With characters from 5 factions converging onto a small but highly desired swath of land, who will gain fame and fortune by establishing their empire as the leader of Eastern Europa. So there you go. There's the theme if you care. But yeah, the components are top notch. Normal Stonemaier, no complaints there. Jamie knows what he's doing when it comes to production and components. Now let's talk about gameplay. So we've covered My Little Scythe on the channel, and we really enjoy that one. We kind of didn't love this one because we had some bad experiences the first time we played it, and we didn't give it a fair shake. So we played it again a couple times, and boy, were we wrong. This is a fantastic game. It takes everything My Little Scythe does, amps it up, because it makes it, you got deeper combat, you got mechs, you got special abilities. You can only move across rivers if you get river walk. Every player has a different player board. It's fantastic. I like the racing to 6 stars, but you still want to be careful that you're not rushing that, because you want to make sure your popularity is up high enough, because if it's not, you're not going to get any points. So you can end the game quickly, but you're not going to get any points. So you're trying to juggle popularity at the end of the game, using popularity during the game, all that stuff, so you can get the most points, while also trying to do your goals and fight combat so you can get stars out on the board. It's a nice delicate balance of when to do what and how to do it. When do you want to go to the factory? Probably quickly, so you can get the first pick of the cards. But do you want to put a building in the factory so you can control the factory? Do you want to keep fighting over the factory? All that kind of thing. It's great. I feel like a jerk for not giving it a fair shake, so I'll admit that up at the top I was wrong. This game is great. So all that being said, I'm not going to keep belaboring this anymore. Love it. This is going to get an 8 out of 10 on BGG, so BGM accepted, which is a 4 out of 5 wrenches on an arbitrary wrench scale. That means absolutely nothing, but we like to give it the games that we enjoy, and that's what I'm going to do. So that is Scythe from Stonemaier Games. I'm Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.